Hi everyone, it's Mike here. So day 8 of my Lost Creative Mojo colour series. I'm kind of only left with one kind of colour group, and that is neutrals. Now, because for the last 2 or 3 days I've done kind of painting heavy art journal pages with the blue and the purple and the orange ones, I thought today I would create a double page spread in my large Darlusions creative journal, but not use any paint at all. So instead I'm going to use neutral colours for the most part, 99.99% neutral colours, maybe just with that minuscule dash of colour. So and it's mostly going to be paper and a little bit of ink. And I'll try and avoid to use any paint at all, including gesso, unless I really have to. Okay, so I've gone through all of my supplies and I've pulled out 4 different kind of browny colours, neutral colours. So I've got coffee, tree branch, potting soil and sepia, which is a little bit of a reddish brown, but it's still a brown, so still classed as a neutral. So I'll put those to one side. I've got some ink from an old Stampin' Up colour range. This is baked brown sugar, so this is a water-based re-inker. So I've got that. I've got 2 really old ink spritzers that I made up myself using re-inkers from Tim Holtz. So one is like a mixture of tea dye and vintage photo with a little bit of walnut stain in it. So that's this one here. So that's a browny kind of colour. And this one's a little bit more reddy, if you like. So this has got more vintage photo and probably more tea dye in it than the other. So I've also gone through and pulled out some bits of ephemera, photos. I've die cut some tags out of craft cards. So I've got 6 of those. I've got some sheets that mostly contain neutral colour tones out of a paper pad. A little bit of greeny colours in there, but you know, I did say a minute amount of colour. And I've also got some like little stickers and bits of ephemera that I'm also going to put together for this art journal project. I've also got some corrugated cardboard in neutral colours, craft colours. So I'm going to try and incorporate those too. Not going to be a huge amount of sticking down with matte medium. I'm actually just going to stick these down with normal glue sticks galore. I've got my Collol multi-purpose spirit glue and I've got my Tombow Mono Aqua. So this is going to be like a multi-layered art journal page with bits of colour, bits of ink dripped in with maybe a little bit of water and also maybe a little bit of stenciling. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So first things first, I'm going to tidy this lot away and give myself some elbow room. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I've got 2 sheets of old music paper and I'm going to glue these down into the background. So first things first is grab some glue, and like I said before, I could stick this down with matte medium, gel medium, that kind of stuff, but I don't want to go too heavy with the drying time, and I also like it when the paper kind of curls up at the edge. It gives you a little bit of extra depth and kind of dimension to your art journal page without it just being flat and completely boring. So first page, and also using this glue, it gives you some wiggle room. So I'll build up the base, and then that one's going to go in there. So get that right at the edge. I don't want it peeling off. And again, if this art journal or this project is going to be one of those ones that takes me a while to place all the different layers and stuff, I'll probably end up just sticking on some music which you've been telling me in the comments that you've really been enjoying the classical music, so I shall probably continue to do that because I know you like it or don't mind it. Alright, so let's get that page stuck down. So make sure it goes around the curve. My art journal now is getting quite thick at the edges or from the middle, so it's starting to curl over. It's not laying flat as it should. I have been sticking the pages together, and I haven't actually got in there yet and cut the spine. Don't really need to just yet, but it's getting to that point where I may have to start to do that. Okay, so the glue's had pretty much plenty of time to start drying, so I'm just going to come in with this spritz spray, which has just got a little bit of ink mixed into it with a little bit actual of alcohol. So it's obviously, because I can smell it, it's coming through. So this isn't going to take long to dry at all. Excellent. And I'm probably going to get a bit squiffy in the process. Okay, so that kind of alcohol spritz has dried quite nicely. I'm not high on the fumes, but it's added some really nice kind of antique-y, tea-dye kind of aging to those pages, which is cool. Absolutely cool. Love it. Alright, so what I've done next is I've torn up some sheets of paper, so from various different paper packs, that kind of thing. So I'm going to start layering and adding bits and bobs from those layers to these pages now. So this is where it starts getting probably a little bit boring for you, because I'm going to be fiddling around, moving stuff around, trying to get the best kind of position and the best idea for these pages. So rather than you sit there watching me do that, what I'll do is I'll start building the cluster up as a fast forward, and then everyone's a winner. Good title for a song, that. Okay, so I've gone through and I've just spritzed some of the colour onto those pieces of paper, just to try and get the colours building up into those backgrounds, and I think it's working pretty well. They're still a little bit damp, so I'm going to carry on getting the bits ready for the cluster, and then once I've done that and I'm ready to start sticking everything together, I'll be right back. And as so often happens, I completely forgot to start talking again. I got so carried away with actually sorting out the bits and pieces for the clusters on the pages that I completely forgot to start talking and start to explain what it was that I was actually doing. So unfortunately, the next few minutes, I've just carried on and sped up with the music, because actually I wasn't talking at all. I was just so intent on getting everything stuck down in the right place that I just completely forgot to talk. So at this point, when I'm spritzing the leaf shape, or the feather shape, sorry, I thought rather than waste the ink, I'll just let it drip onto the page. Just adds that little bit of extra dimension. And obviously I've not wasted anything. So now you'll see me adding my Tim Holtz paper dolls. I've got loads of these left, so I want to use them up, and I'm using adhesive foam tape on the back because I'm sticking them down onto textured corrugated cardboard, and it's the best way to stick these things down on an uneven surface. Okay, so you just saw me point to the ladies here and then paint over the page in clear gesso. I just wanted to point out, no more shine. Because these have got like a gloss laminate on them, I don't particularly like them shining. So if I go over the top of them with clear gesso, it mats them out. It stops them from shining too much. And as you can see, you can just see in some areas where I've missed down here, where there is a little bit there of shine, but not a lot. Which is cool, because that then will enable me to do what I want to do next. So the baked brown sugar, I'm going to add some of that to the page, or to this mat. Just get some water. That's it, mix it slightly, and then grab my fan brush and I can start to add some darker splatters, which we all know helps tie the page together. And then let me just get a piece of kitchen roll. Add a little bit more of that kind of sepia tone, or that dark, into it. Cool. And because it's water based, it just washes straight out. So no paint apart from a tiny amount of gesso, mostly paper, mostly glue, a little bit of inks used as spritzers and sprays. Better. When the face is obscuring. So all I need to do now is just to add a little quote to the page, and then I think I'm going to call it done. So everything is now completely and utterly dry. I've printed off a little phrase that I want to add into my art journal, so I'm going to stick, this is on sticker paper, so this is where I'm going to be adding it onto. So these will be going just up here, like so. But obviously I want to add a little bit of darkness just around there, just to make them pop a little bit. So I will crack on, finish these bits off, stick them down, and then join you again back at the end, because I may have decided to change my mind on where things were going. Okay, so once I'd gone around the edges with the potting soil archivaling of those lines, I decided I was going to put them at the bottom, so I'm glad I didn't stick them down as when I was doing them. So I think they look a lot better down at the bottom here. So that's where they are going. Take very long. Okay. And that's it. I think I'm going to call this page done. I'm happy with the layout, I'm happy with all the texture, I'm happy with the splatters. Like I said, no paint apart from that clear gesso, which theoretically has disappeared completely anyway. You can't even see it because it's transparent. No paint at all, only ink. And that is literally it for what I think is a really kind of a real vintagey feel but nostalgic art journal page in that neutral palette. So the only pop of colour that you can see was like the other red that was up here, the other bit of red just a little bit down there, but that pretty much is it. None other visible. Okay, so all I have to do now is just sign it, which I will do down here. And today is the 19th of the 1st, 19. And then I'm going to call this page and this series done. I did toy with the idea of doing a black and white page or a grayscale page, but I have done those in the past. So it's not something unusual. Whereas doing a complete neutral page, a complete red, yellow, orange, pink, green, blue page is something I've never done. So this is it. So this is the neutrals, end of the series. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.